Hi. Alrighty then. Oh, oh, great. Mm. All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Get ready, because we're about to take it to the mic stand. And give me one moment. I gotta do a couple real quick things I should have done, or one maybe that I did should have done right before, but also. All right. So sorry about that, but of course I'm right now. It would seem I'm talking to myself because it doesn't look like anybody's here yet. So we're gonna make it right tonight. Oh, gonna make it right tonight. Oh, gonna make it right night. Hey, Batgo, hey, that you're on there. Of course, should I have the link up if you want to join me in the studio tonight? Um, and wait a few minutes. Want to come in and we can just chit chat a bit, see if we can get any more people in here before we get going on some stuff. Um, just give me a sec. Yeah, so you just made it. There's two of us in here so far. Set a lot of stuff up. Um, so I was listening to Tug's stream, so I was over there the majority of it. I'm so full of pizza. What? Oh, hey, Dave. That's Dave. Hey, Dave. I put the link up if you want to, if if you guys want to join me in, in the studio tonight. We can just talk verbally. Since I wasn't able to get any guests for this week. So if you guys want to join in, we can have our like a forum panel. Cover some stuff and and stuff like that. What up, Dave? Uh, oh wow. I appreciate the offer, but no, thank you. All right. Hey, Batgoat. Yeah, I usually try to do, with Fridays, I usually try to make them a forum panel. I've been trying to work on getting guests on, but it's just, I did have the Knuckleheads on a few weeks ago. So, at least thanks for dropping in, at least. So, I'm just wait, I'm just, only reason I haven't started, I've got a fourth person who just showed up. Hopefully, somebody will join me soon here. Uh, La di di da di da, la di di da di da, la di di da di da, la di di da di da. Hmm. Excuse me a moment. I'm gonna go off screen again. Hey, Batgoat, I thought you said you were gonna join me tonight. I know ACC's not here yet, but that shouldn't prevent you from coming in and watch that from hair to air cartoon. It was short and funny. Razzle Frackin' Varm Varma Shurkin Herbert and Sam. Yeah. Well, you have to remember too, Dave. Is like a lot of the old like Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies cartoons, as well as a lot of the older like MGM cartoons and stuff like that. They were all shorts like that. It's just that probably if you grew up like in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, they were by that point they were all packaged together as like the Looney Tunes show or something to that effect. But they were all originally developed as theatrical shorts, meaning that they would usually debut in the theaters and be used as kind of a warm up act for the movies a lot of times. So um, yeah, so mm. Let's see, yeah, like nine. Ah. So how you guys doing today? Oh, here we go. Bat goat. Hey, bat goat.
Hello.
I'm glad I at least got somebody now in on co-commentary there. Yeah. So how's your day going, man?
Good. How are you?
All right. As I said, I just prior to this stream, I I was sitting there watching Tugs, listened to it a bit as I was, doing some of the prep work for tonight, like with this day in each history, getting that information and all that. So let's see. Here's what Dave. Here's what Dave said most recently. Get people laughing before they watch Casablanca. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the way they did it back then, Dave. Now, mind you, remember that that short, of course, came up or came in 1960, as you guys know from the.
Why am I hearing an echo?
Why are you hearing an echo? I don't know. I'm not hearing an echo from my end, so maybe it's. Well, let me ask you this, Dave. Do you have both the StreamYard screen and the YouTube screen up? Do you have both of those screens up, or
Yes.
okay?
Right.
What I would
Close
suggest.
StreamYard?
Well, no, you don't. No, you don't have to close StreamYard. You can still have StreamYard, but what I would suggest you do is when you go over to the YouTube page and just mute the video there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Okay, that's better. That
All
works.
right, yeah. Yeah, I learned that back when I was starting all this, and looks like we got some more people in here.
Hey, Action.
Hey, ATC, you gonna join us, my friend? Be nice to have it'll be nice to have 3 people in here as well. No echo here. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
discovered
that was my fault, Dave.
Yeah. Good evening, people. Good evening, ATC. Only YouTube. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I discovered that back earlier on when I was, when I first was starting to stream and stuff. That that yeah, I heard an echo too, and I realized that because I have both the StreamYard page and the YouTube page up, I figured okay, I should probably mute the YouTube page.
That makes
In
sense.
fact,
That worked.
I think
Fine.
I learned. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
So that makes sense. That as soon as I muted it, it was fine.
Yeah. Let's see. Hey there. Hey, Action. Yeah, hopefully ATC will join us as well. Yeah. So as I was saying, I was catching some of Tug's stream, prior to this, and as I was listening to, he was going over, I guess the the video call that Michael Long had with Sophie, his daughter. So I don't know if you guys have seen that or not.
I haven't been watching that. That's kind of a difficult thing for me to see. I just
Are you a parent?
yeah. My daughter is due in a couple weeks. My first grandkid is on the way. So I can't deal with that stuff. I know I know they're asking for donations and help and whatnot, but I just on a personal selfish level, I just can't see any of that or be involved with it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that you don't want to expose yourself to that evil, that darkness, but
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean, you should at the very least be aware of it, and if you can help where you can, whether that's just simply by raising awareness or donating or what have you. But
Sure.
but do what you can. Don't overextend yourself to the point to where it causes you, mental health issues or whatever. So let's
Yeah.
see. I'm guessing Tug was going over the Sophie Long case. Good news. There's that Sophie is with the dad now. Her and her brothers. Yeah, he is. From what I understand, she is with him now, and I think it was good that hopefully Michael was recording that, because then that will be video evidence of the possibility that Kelly violated that court order. Um, let's see, the stepmother made a Facebook post. Um, that's understandable, Backcoat. Some stuff in the world is hard to deal with. Well, I mean, if you think it's bad to watch it, if you think it's hard to watch it, think of Tug's situation. He's sitting there trying to cover it. Not just from the perspective of being a father, but also from being the perspective of being a former mental health professional.
Yeah, yeah, and he's very passionate about it too, which makes sense. I mean, he's coming from a place of real emotion there, where he has been in the field, and I think he feels responsibility, which is good for him. But as you know, I was a paramedic for a long time. I was also a Navy
Right.
corpsman, and I'm done with everything. Like I don't work anymore because I can't. So like I can't expose myself to stuff like that.
If you now you don't have to answer this if you don't wish to. I'm just kind of curious. Were
Did the stream hiccup? Is that an F? Is there an F in chat? Mike, you can't leave me to run the show. Action, are you coming in? Mike, you need to unfreeze. Oh boy, no. It's not going to be just me. I think I'm going to jump out of this.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Backcoat, you still in? You still here? Um, Guys, try to get back in. My internet went out for some reason. It looks like it's back up now, I think. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, guy.
Hello.
Hey, ATC. Sorry about that. I guess my internet went out for a moment there. Sometimes that happens here. I don't know why, but excuse me a moment.
Hey, TC, what's up?
Not too much. I finished making my very own action figure today.
Is that right? I saw it was that last night. You said you were working on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool.
finally done. Got accessories and everything now.
Nice, nicely done, dude. So, are we gonna see that? Like, are we gonna see like a GoFundMe or?
I don't
Or
know
what do
yet. Don't know yet. I want to get a couple of these out so that I get like a little first wave thing going.
Cool.
I
All
Okay.
right, so let's take a moment to see what all was said. Why I was not there. Vodka with Perrier. Okay, maybe I need to bring that up a little bit. Let's see. Let's go at least back to. Okay.
I'm sorry about that, Mike. I think Dave pointed out that you can hear me. I've got a drink, and you can hear the ice cubes in it.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I know people have. Um, that's understandable. Back up some. Okay, that was the last thing we saw. So, being shortly from ATC. Uh-oh. You froze Mike. Yeah. FF. Yeah. I guess that's the first time it's happened to me. So not happy about that. But what you drinking, back goat? As Dave Mark said. Tea. Vodka with Perrier. Okay. Hello, hello, darkness, my old friend. It seems to be come again. Let's see. That went down too far, I think, a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What happened? I wasn't going to stay in there alone. Yeah, I understand that. I was coming back. I just had to figure out exactly what in the world happened. Um, let's see. Laugh out loud. I just joined and no one in. Yeah. No kidding. That should tell you. That should show you just how much of a. I'm probably even more of a boomer than Nick is. His inner tube went down. Yeah. Um, I was never much for vodka, but as Dave Marks put it, but I'm not much for. I'm not really. I don't drink alcohol at all myself. So, anyways, the one I found myself actually liking was a bourbon, um, some sort of cherry bourbon. Okay, I'll head back in and yeah, and then my response to you is sorry. Um, so let's see. Technical difficulties happen. Yes, they do. Uh, is that what's on screen? Okay. The action figure. I'm gonna mute my mic every time I drink. The ice thing is Cecil's gig. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah. So okay. So now that you guys are in here, we're kind of settling in and having a good time. Nice avatar there, ATC.
Oh, thank you. That one's my custom made anti-attorney He-Man that I made last year.
Ah, kind of a darker skinned He-Man too. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I think yeah, it looks like there was some more stuff here, I guess. Dave Mark, the action figure. Oh, okay, we already saw all that. Okay, so all right, well, we'll obviously have time to talk and BS a lot too. of course, one of the things I hope to do with these panels as well is go over, of course, some of the some stories with you guys and get your commentary as well as I'm reading them. We can talk about them as I'm reading them. You guys cool with that?
Sounds good
cool.
to me.
All right. Dave Marks just commented on something here. Lester. Okay, whatever that means. Okay, so let me just find the screen share here, and then we'll be ready to go. Let's see. Okay, there we go. And you guys notice I get a lot of the stories from bounding into comics, but I also look up like CBR and even Hero Hayes' site, Neonnet, to find stories and stuff. So, and I found a couple here in the comic section that were pretty interesting. This first one, again, and we've seen this going on quite a bit. I guess Marvel being the latest, being accused of tracing other people's artworks. Apparently, I don't know if Marvel was the only one or if there was some other companies doing it as well. But so here's the headline: Marvel Comics and Greg Land accused of tracing Dark Horse Aliens artist Tristan Jones' work for Aliens omnibus cover. Okay. Now I know Dark Horse has done some comics based on TV shows, and that's been a common theme over the years. So let's get into this then. Comic book creator Tristan Jones, best known for the artwork he provided for Dark Horse's series of comics based on the Alien franchise, has accused Marvel Comics and artist Greg Land of tracing his work for the cover of the upcoming Aliens omnibus. On September 1st, which was this past Tuesday, Jones took to his personal Twitter to ask his followers about the etiquette on calling out artists. You've ganked your work. You ganked your okay. I don't even know what that word means. I've never seen that word before. Ganked. Your work to Frankenstein something. They would have got paid quite a bit to do for a big two publisher. And then I guess there and then asking for a friend who is me, who is ropeable. Okay. This tweet was spurred by Jones' suspicions that Marvel had traced his work, and after another fan pointed out some questionable comparisons, Jones was glad I'm not the only one that noticed. Which means I'm not crazy. Which also means that isn't where similarities stop, unfortunately. And the disheartened artist concluded, okay, and then I guess this is, the other tweet from Kane's son, I guess Uncle Lee 44. My friend just made these comparisons. This mess makes me weep. Feel for your mate. It's despicable. Yeah. So so thus far, what's your take on this, guys? Because I know I did another news story. What was it, couple weeks ago, where we had another situation where another company was doing this too, tracing over other guys' artwork. What's your take on this, guys? And either one of you can start, and we'll.
I don't know. Didn't was it Flash talking about it last week? That I saw a video on it a few days ago where someone was saying that it's not that uncommon. Maybe EVS was. Someone was saying that it's not that uncommon to see. Like it does happen, but this was kind of like almost in your face. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure discretion is key when you want to kind of copy someone else's work.
So, do you think it's like it's something that it does happen, but it's just don't
Not
be
everyone
a
talks
fool
about
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't be like straight up tracing about it type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because last week when Mike brought it up, I mentioned that the anime series No Game No Life, the head of the studio lost his job, and the anime pretty much got canceled. And I was like, ugh.
Oh wait, was that the mangaka who got accused of accosting some girls? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about someone that was tracing someone else's artwork from manga to make their anime. Yeah.
Well, yeah, over in Japan, I'm sure that's even more frowned down upon than here in the States. I mean,
Yeah.
they're very, as we've often heard, they're very protective of their works and stuff like that. So, all right, so continuing.
And
Somebody was
Dave
just
is,
about to speak.
yeah, Dave is saying that he said you can see his comment there that he said the angles are wrong for it not to be 100% trace job. So that was just my understanding, and I don't claim to be an expert on that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was actually over on the actual Founding in the Comments page. I wasn't looking at the comments at that moment. But oh no, never trace for cash. Unless it's literally rotoscoping. Hold on though, I don't think that was traced. The angels are wrong. Okay. So continuing on then. After a stewing on this all night, Jones would directly claim that he was 100% sure I've been Greg landed. Greg landed. Okay, that's an interesting term to use. And provide his followers with a comparison of his cover for Marvel's upcoming omnibus and my drawings. Photoshop's snap function even locked my work in when I put it over his stated Jones before discovering that the xenomorphs was presumably traced from a piece by artist Andy Bray. So apparently he's not only tracing over Tristan Jones's work, but he's apparently tracing over another guy's work by the name of Andy Bray's. Oh, great job, Greg. Right, guys?
Yeah, yikes.
Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes.
Yikes.
Oi, man. Okay, and then of course here's the actual tweet. Let's see, and then I guess as part of the tweet as well, I saw this on IG and recognized the hands right away. Then the rest, Photoshop snap function, even locked. Okay, so we did read that part. Am I crazy? Pretty sure we've identified the face too. There's the other part of the tweet. And I'm sorry, give me another moment here where I go off screen. You can say about this while I'm off screen. Okay. So we'll move on then here. another user, now that I'm back, another user at Ridge Stop, which I guess his real name is Adam Zeller, at Ridge Top 21, discovered that Land's alleged tracing did not stop with the xenomorph, um, but also extended to the ovomorph egg capsules that littered the cover's bottom. And I guess here's the string. Um, egg found by at Sizzy Bubbles. Um, I checked in Photoshop, matches exactly. Now just gotta find the face hugger. Okay. Kind of reminds me of Starro the Conqueror, particularly the episode. I think it was. I think there were a couple. I think there was a Batman Beyond episode, and then there was also a Batman Brave and the Bold episode that both had Star of Each, and you'd see the star creatures all go up in the face like this. So, in an attempt to rectify the situation, Jones proceeded to ask his followers, "Has anyone got Greg Lamb's email? Asking for a friend again, who is me again." Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that in that email he probably had a few choice words to share with the gentleman, right? Uh, for readers familiar with Land's history, this tracing accusation should come as no surprise. As I guess, I don't know if it was UATC or Patco who mentioned earlier that this is a pretty common practice, apparently. Um, as a controversial artist has become known for the blatant and egregious tracing featured in his work. His habit has become so notorious, in fact, that many fans have made a hobby of finding the original basis for his artwork. So this guy is just so notorious and just so out in the open about it. People are just looking to bust him left and right, I guess. As of writing, it does not appear that Jones has been able to make contact with Land, while Marvel has yet to publicly address Jones' accusations. So yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah, what do you guys, let's talk about that for a moment. Just in that, well, let's first see if there's any, um, if there's any, let's see. Yeah, we saw that. I think that was the last one right there. To be fair, how many different ways can you draw cinema? I don't know because I'm not even I can't draw period. So or their eggs. Well, eggs shouldn't be that hard unless there's something because an egg for the most part is an oval shape. That shouldn't be too hard to draw. But good point from Bat Goats this one. Oh, okay. This guy has a history of tracing. Well, that does not strengthen his case. Yeah. Well, can you blame the guy for going into hiding? After all, the guy's basically he's being called out for doing a pretty sketchy thing and just right out in the open like that. I'm sure if he did have a chance to email him again, he probably has a few choice words for him. You guys want to just kind of guess at what those choice words might be?
Oh, I
Stop copying
bet
my shit.
he's not happy with it.
Yeah,
I
would
was
think.
I was
Go
going
ahead.
to add on to what you were saying there, Mike, and and Dave just mentioned that too. Like if he's got a history of tracing, that's makes it even more sketch. And especially because what do I always say? The chat is always right. So if there's already an established group of people that find his stuff and compare it. Like that's already been going on. I mean, doesn't sound real good.
He's already a marked man for it. He's basically, it's like, it's like, he might as well just wear a huge dunce cap on his head that says, "I'm a tracer. I trace other people's work because I can't draw worth garbage." It's like, right? Okay, so anyways, let's move on to the other story there, as you guys can see.
Gotta say hey to Anon. Anonymity.
Anon, did he just come in?
Yes, he just said hi.
Hey, Anon, what's up, man? Let's see. Let's get caught up on some of these. Okay, we already saw that. Hey, just got off driving home. I'll be listening in. Well, it's panel night, so you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. And on Fridays when I open up the studio, you guys, and anybody and everybody's always welcome to join in the studio. So, hey,
happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you guys thank everybody for joining me, and of course, let's see, there are a few things here. The chat is always right, huh? Well, 2 + 2 = 5. Then, okay.
What? I thought it was 6.
Huh?
I thought it was 6.
I thought it was Poopy Poop Magoo. Much love, gentlemen. Okay, so let me go on to this one because this next story here. DC's Wonder Woman of history will feature real world heroes, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and SJW. Warning, SJW alert. Warning, SJW alert. Now,
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah,
let's see. I had to do that.
Rashida Tlaib, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Keiko Agasso, who I have no idea who that is, and Serena Williams. I know who the other 3 are, but the one in the lower left-hand corner there, I don't. But now, mind you guys, this is not something that's new. Back in the golden age of comics, of course, in many of the Wonder Woman titles and sensation, well, I think more in the Wonder Woman comic book, they did have a Wonder Woman of history segment in there where they would like feature from that time period different women, like I think Margaret Mead was featured in there. I think Harriet Tubman was featured in there at one time. So this isn't anything new. They've had a Wonder Woman of history, noting famous women of that time period. Of course, these women are, of course, it just shows you how woke DC's unfortunately going. So DC's Wonder Woman of history will feature real world heroes, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Rashida Tlaib. Okay, so DC has announced a new graphic novel, Wonder Woman. So they're turning it into a graphic novel series now. It used to, when back in the golden age, they just had it as another feature within the title. But a graphic novel, Wonder Women of history, which will feature stories centered on 17 female real-world heroes, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, and Elizabeth Warren.
That has to be a joke.
Yeah, I wish it.
So bad.
I hope real world heroes.
Oh man.
Shack and Ape. Oh my. edited, and then of course the thing here, edited by New York Times bestseller Lori Halse Anderson, Wonder Women of History. Now, guys, just to let you know, of course, comics have always there always been some to some degree.
Of course,
Not,
RBG is there.
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Okay, go. Okay, no problem.
No, I'm sorry, Mike. I was just saying, when you scroll down, I saw, of course, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is there. Of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, she was up in the one up here too. See her right here.
Yeah.
Again, I know three of those four, and that the only one I don't know is that Keigo Agasa. And but well, I can tell you this from my own study of Golden Age comics. FDR was quite a guest in a number of comic titles in not just in DC. He showed up in Quality Comics too. Quality Comics is where DC picked up the characters that came to be known as the Freedom Fighters. The guys like Uncle Sam, Quicksilver, Dollman, Black Condor, Phantom Lady.
Interesting. What years was that?
That was like back in the 40s.
Okay.
So, yeah, you got Rashida Tlaib, Keiko Agasa, who I have no idea who that even is. Or as you said, RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Serena Williams. At least with Serena Williams, you could somewhat say she's somewhat of a hero because she's a female athlete. But come on, these other people, Ellen,
Yeah.
Ellen Ochoa. I don't even know who that is. So, I mean, the only one I would even remotely consider any Wonder Woman or heroic or anything like that. Look at this line right above. 18 phenomenal women who changed our world. Oh God!
Yay.
Like. I want now. Grant, I know you guys were teasing me about this last night, but I wonder who else is in among those 18 women. You think Renfamous might be in that 18 women?
Your girl Renfamous?
Mike's secret crush.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyways, but I don't need. Anyways,
got
Sorry.
choked up, didn't he?
well, again, I mean, I could have a comment on Renfamous, but it would be a little bit dark and might get me in trouble. So I'd rather
You
not say
want
it.
to spank her big booty.
But anyways, well,
I'm sorry, Mike. I'll leave you alone.
yeah, okay. Okay, so let's continue on here. Wonder Woman has been an inspiration for decades, and while not everyone would choose her star-spangled outfit for themselves, her compassion and fairness are worthy of emulation. Reads the book's description on DC's official website. Now, Grant, there are certain characters, depending upon which time period and all that, there are certain characteristics about Wonder Woman that are good. You know, I would say that okay, maybe like how she was depicted in the DCAU, for example. I guess a more modern version may not be quite as endearing to people, but how she was depicted like in the Super Friends, I'd say that was a pretty good depiction of her.
I agree.
You know, that aspect of her. You know, and at least at the core, some of I mean, I've mentioned this before. I've mentioned some of some of our earlier publication history, and you guys know from a few weeks ago when Mr. Hop and I were talking about it. We got into some of the background of who the creators of Wonder Woman was, right? There's some of that that's not too bad, but um, but you did have a lot of damsel in distress stuff going on there too. Um, so, anyways, so the graphic novel will present tales of the real world heroes who take up Diana's mantle. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. And work in the fields of science, social justice activism, and diplomacy, and more. Oh boy. Ay, ay,
Woohoo!
ay.
Just
Ay, ay,
rename
ay.
it. Just
Girl
rename it.
power.
Oh God. Oh man. Could you? Okay. I don't know if you guys watched Justice League Unlimited. There was that
Yeah.
episode in the fifth season where Diane. I don't remember the title of the episode, but Diana kind of got her mother kind of pressured her into doing some diplomatic work, and she wanted she and part of the theme of the episode was actually focusing more on Martian Manhunter John Jones, the fact that he's kind of isolated from humanity, was trying to get him out more. And there was that one scene in there where, in front of a whole bunch of diplomats, he kind of made somewhat of a veiled threat, saying that, well, if the world doesn't act on this, then my mother is more inclined to do a military, basically it sounded like a typical SJW Saul Alinsky kind of as. I wonder how those Nimrods in the squad would have reacted to that, that little scene. So, oh God,
Look at the abuse.
yeah, no kidding. She only comes out at night. What a fateful fright! Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater. Don't know if you guys remember that song,
Holland
right?
Oats rock.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
the '80s rock.
Yep. 80s are where it's at.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up Keiko Agasso. All I'm seeing is Instagram and Twitter. So I take it she doesn't have a Wikipedia page, right? There, Dave. Um, I watched the Justice League with the Black Green Lantern, the best one. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Justice League, that the one from the 2000s with John Stewart. At Dave Twitter celeb. I bet she's a real gem. Probably is. You know, uh, I heard something in the background there. ATC, is that your wife maybe calling for you?
No, it was my son talking to his brother.
Oh,
He went and
okay.
got them out of the fridge.
Okay. Just as a point of fun though, going back to the whole Infamous thing for a moment. Let's just say for a moment that I did, let's say, have the opportunity to spend some time with her, and I didn't have to worry about getting arrested or getting charged or getting. Let's just say that I had her, to play with in my own special way. After, let's say, a week or two after I played with her, she would not look quite as much like, I'll put it this way, she would not look quite as much like a whale. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, Mike. That's enough on the going dark with with the rest of us.
Okay, so we'll just leave it at that, though.
Okay, yeah,
Oh.
yep.
Oh,
I agree, 100%. I just don't say it, live.
Well, that's a risk you run when you go down that road with me. Because remember, I do have autism, and at times, even my filter, even though it's gotten better with age, even my filter isn't always at its peak.
Yeah, no, you didn't say anything bad, Mike. I was just giving you a little nudge in the ribs.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so anyways, moving on here then. Edited by New York Times bestselling young adult author Lori Halse Anderson. Each of the graphic novel stories will focus on a specific figure and will be handled by individual creative teams. The women whose stories will be told and the creators who will be bringing said stories to life include Alexandria AOC, written by Lillian Rivera and drawn by Anastasia Longoria. Now, before I go on, I'm going to go check the quote here to see if maybe there's anything else. Best I can tell, Keiko is an author, history stuff. She may be the only one in there worth anything. Okay. Ha ha ha, Mike, you dog, you. I guess anonymity was responding to my little off-color commentary there. I'm gonna be honest. That got well. Hey, Dave, we all have those parts in us. It's just some of us, some of us just have to be a little bit more mindful to keep them more under control. But just got home, going to make food. Okay, now we're caught up on all the comments there. Okay, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, written by Lila Sturgis and drawn by Devaki Naogi. Okay. Elizabeth Warren, aka Pocahontas. Written and drawn by Renee DeLiz. Rashida Tlaib, written and drawn by Marguerite Bai, I guess. Tiara Fraser, whoever that is, written by Tracy Sorrell and drawn by Natasha Donovan. Edith Windsor, written by Amanda Daybert and drawn by Kat Staggs. Marsha P. Johnson, written by Jadzia Axelrod and drawn by Michaela Washington. I haven't heard of some of these people. Emma Gonzalez. Now I'm guessing Emma Gonzalez was that shaved-haired girl, part of the David Hogg crowd, if I remember correctly. Written by Cami Garcia and drawn by Ixel. Judith Herman, written by Marike Nijkamp and drawn by Ashanti Orton. Ellen Ochoa, written by Cecil Castellucci, drawn by Karina Shang Gui, written by Emily X. R. Pan and Wendy Shu. Serena Williams, written by Danielle Page and drawn by Brittany Williams. Tig Notaro, written by Sarah Farizan and drawn by Nicole Go, Keiko Agena. Maybe that's why you had trouble finding it there, Dave. Maybe I was reading it wrong there. I was seeing it as a Gasa, but I guess it's Ageno. Agena, written by Sarah Kuhn and drawn by Lynn Yoshi. Somebody got a dog? Sounds like there was a dog barking in the background or something like
that. Maybe Batgoat's making tea.
Okay, Dominic Dawes, written by Danny Lore, drawn by Robin Smith. Janelle Monet, written by Vita Ayala and O'Neill Jones, drawn by O'Neill Jones. The anthology will also feature portraits of artists such as Wesho Yates, Alvitre, Colleen Doran, Agnes Garbowska, okay, Bex Glending, Ashley A. Woods, and Safia Zerogi. Okay, I think like about half to 2/3 of these people I have never even heard of before. What about you guys?
Me either. I can't say I heard of most of these people either.
Yeah, obviously some of the more well-known politicians are there, but other than that, while this marks the first appearance in the comic book medium for many of the subjects, and is not the first time a comic book publisher has produced a series based on Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah, I think I do remember. Like even I think Yellow Flash covered that. I think it was like last year, or somebody came. In fact, they got the thing down here. In fact, last year, Devil's Due published Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the Freshman Force New Party. Who dis? Oh God. I don't. That book didn't sell too well, did it?
I'm sorry, I wasn't muted, was I? Did you hear me making my drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did.
So
I was hearing a whole bunch of I thought there was a dog in the background too.
Oh man, that was me. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I just sat back down to comment real quick that and unmute myself, which apparently I didn't need to do. That I was going to laugh about the ASC thing, but now I'm laughing at what a dummy I am.
Oh, that's okay. We all can be dummies every now and again. I think some people would think my off-color comments from a few minutes ago were me being a bit of a dummy, but
it's all good.
Okay, in an attempt to create something that celebrates the fresh new energy and diversity of the stagnated legislative body and help some good causes at the same time. Again, I don't know if did that book even sell all that much. I don't think that comic even sold all that much. I think if it did, look at that get up.
Cortez bought all the copies. That's all I know.
more likely. Either AOC bought all of them or a good portion of them, and the rest were probably picked up by some white knighting simps who basically somehow got excited, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyways, what do you think of the collection? Do you any of the subjects? Okay, I think there's a little bit of a grammatical error there. Do you any of the subjects or creative teams Oh, okay. I think you got put in there for some stupid reason, but do any of the subjects or creative teams interest you, or do you see this as just another attempt to pander? Um, Let us know on social media. Okay, let's okay, guys, let's all say it together. Okay? I think we all know the answer there. Okay, ready? One, two, three.
Pander.
Pander.
I was gonna say get woke, go broke.
Well, that's
But they're
yeah, but
already broke.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. There were some. I guess there were. Let's see.
That's funny, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me
Oh, there we
see.
go.
I was just kind of. Yeah, we can close this out now. Yeah, those are the only two stories that I had for tonight. Obviously, but we can. Let me see. I'm just trying to go back and see. Okay, I do know we did read that. We did read that. And Dave, I wasn't trying. Maybe on some level, I was trying to be weird, but not like maybe humorously weird. Um, but also, I should know better and should not to go there. But at least now you guys kind of have a. You gonna join us in the studio? So who were you asking there? Back though, were you asking if Anonymity was gonna join us, or if Dave was
Yeah,
gonna?
I'm pretty sure he's asking.
Yeah,
Anon.
yeah. He's cooking his dinner, so he might pop in with us maybe in a bit.
Okay. Ah, yes, the great Beyonce writer of the slurping on some watermelon song.
Oh, good.
Okay. So many active. Yep. Yeah. Good point there, Dave. Yes, so many activists. They apparently consider activists as as Wonder Woman. Okay. Oh, okay. Keiko Agena. She's an actress. Okay, I've never heard of her, but whatever. Um, I keep looking up these ladies' names and not finding any scientists or engineers. And of course, no law enforcement, no medical women, priorities men. Yeah. Well, okay. In this age of social media, twits are heroes. Okay, twits are heroes. Now, before there was Twitter, the term twit was used for somebody who obviously lacked intelligence. So if you didn't know what I meant, what I mean when I say the word twit, now you do. So I'm uneducated with fake feminists. Yeah. Um, it's cool, back goat. I got over it real quick. If Cortez bought the books, it was probably with tax. Yeah, more than likely. AOC is trash. Um, it's great she made herself into a politician, but being a failure as a politician shouldn't be rewarded. It probably shouldn't, but in our, with with social media and mainstream media, you know, um,
It often is.
yeah, it's unfortunately that's how other people want it. Okay, so now we got a couple of those stories out of the way. You know, and we had a good laugh at the expense of some of these SJWs.
They are quite silly, easy to laugh at.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh wow, we're actually already over an hour. Look at that. Hour and 9 minutes, and so we're coming up on an hour 10. Wow.
Where did that time go?
Yeah. Well, it goes by a little faster when I've got people to interact with and talk back and forth with like this. You know. Yeah. Anything interesting going on for you guys over the weekend?
I want Action to talk about his avatar. You mentioned it real quick. You did that last year. You said that's a He-Man that you.
Go for it. Go for it, ATC.
Well,
I'm
this
listening. I
one.
just gotta go off screen.
Well, this one was just me. I found some busted parts laying around, so I decided I needed this exact figure because I seen a little promo for it on YouTube, and I was like, I can make that.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's
I had to
cool.
have it, and I made one. So I was like, oh,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot easier than making one from scratch in my 3D printer.
Okay. Oh, you can do that?
Yeah. I'll change my
That's
avatar and
cool.
I'll show you my prototype that I made. Change this up. Like this is just the prototype. It's really really far from being a good completed figure, but
Okay. That's out of your 3D printer?
yeah.
Dude, that's so dope. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
It's fully articulate, just like a regular He-Man figure too. So arms move, head
Nice.
moves, legs. I think I've got like 8 accessories made for it right now.
That's awesome. Like, you print up your own as far as accessories, like sword or backpack or guns
yeah.
or. Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
can print up pretty much anything for He-Man stuff.
That's
Power
awesome.
swords. He's currently holding an axe from Galaxy Warriors right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah.
You're at a Galaxy Lawyers? What's that?
Galaxy Warriors? It's a knockoff of He-Man.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, keep us updated, and like I said, let us know if you're gonna go to GoFundMe or you
Most definitely.
need us to help you out. Let us know.
Yeah.
I want to promote products and all that.
Yeah, I just want to get my proof done, and then I'll see what I can do for finding someone to manufacture it and do a much nicer paint job than I can. Yeah, but I currently don't have a name for him yet, so I posted a picture on my Twitter, which is just the Action Toys channel, and throw suggestions down.
So Action Toy Channel on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mind you, I'm not on Twitter anymore. I haven't been on Twitter since December. So.
Okay.
Yep. I've been posting a lot of cool stuff there lately.
Very cool. I'll check that out.
What about you, Batgoat? You have anything you wanna like?
One day, the Batgoat channel is going to have a lot of videos on it. I'm going to have a ton of videos on it. It just that day hasn't hit yet, and I have to sit down at my computer and not watch live streams and do editing because I have over 1,000 hours of video from the last 2 years, and I haven't edited anything. But one day I will. I have like trips to Colorado and hiking and just all kinds of other goofy stuff, and they'll be fun little videos. I mean, I have a few up on my channel already if you want to check it out.
Oh, anonymity. Just let's see what we got here. I won't be on tonight. My neighbor, a lovely lady, wants to spend some time. I'm about to pack up. Bolski. Well, have fun.
Good luck to you, sir.
I hope we'll get you in here at some point. Conversations are always good, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. So what else? What else can we
That is some serious facial hair there, Bat Goat.
Oh, did you look
11
at my channel?
Yeah, just
Which-
from 11 months ago. Oh heck, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, God, it's so long right now. I don't want to. I haven't shaved and I look gross. I don't want to take. I don't want to show video of me right now. Like, but it's my mutton stash is so long right now. Like, if I go outside, I have to band it up. Like I pull it tight, and it usually takes like 3 little black rubber bands to get it to. Especially like wearing a mask and stuff like that. I don't know. It's weird. It's much longer than in the videos you see on my channel.
Hmm.
It's cool though. Makes people smile. They laugh. They point.
Yeah, I was like, that looks like mutton chops, but I can't say mutton chops because that's not mutton chops.
It is. Well, I looked it up online and I checked out some like clubs, like facial hair clubs. There's
Yeah.
one in Minneapolis with a dude that has something like mine, except he's younger and it's not as gray. Well, it's not gray at all and it's really long, but they call it a mutton stash.
This is really cool.
Well, you see my thick beard here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, guys, this is of course the Friday before Labor Day. It's Labor Day weekend, the Friday before.
Corona beards, right?
And huh?
I'm sorry, Dave said Corona beards. Yep. And the
Well,
a-hole haircut.
I always have a beard. I'm like, for me, I usually have to go to the barber to get my beard shaved off because, like, usually if I try to shave my own beard, like, I don't really do as good a job. So, but anyways, as I was getting ready to say here, so okay, so we're we're here at Labor Day weekend. Okay, it's the Friday before, so traditionally, as when we often grew up, this is usually the weekend they did the Saturday morning preview shows. Going as it was usually the second weekend was traditionally when the Saturday morning lineups would premiere each year.
Okay.
You guys have any favorite memories from seeing either from seeing some of some of the older Saturday morning preview shows, or maybe have any fond memories of Saturday morning cartoons in general that you want to share?
I remember, now that you said that, yes, I remember the Labor Day weekend, is it now, that they would premiere what was coming up for the season, for our cartoon season,
Right.
for the Saturday morning. And as soon as you were saying that, I kind of went, oh yeah, I took a little trip down memory lane. So, gosh, I can't remember anything specific, but yeah, that was very awesome. We all sat around our TVs and trying to figure out, what was going to be the next awesomest show for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it was always kind of cool how as you're coming back from summer break and then they're preparing you for like what cool stuff to watch.
Is he
I mean, of course, I think by am I hiccuping?
Yeah, is your stream cutting out?
Are you asking?
Oh, yeah, I'm asking Toys and Dave,
tell.
or is it just on my end?
I keep hearing that sound, so I was like, ugh. Every now and then.
Well,
I was seeing the video freeze up. That could be my end.
Yeah, at least according to this, it doesn't seem like because I'm like right now I'm looking at the I'm looking at the YouTube channel from my end. It doesn't seem like it's looks like everything's kind of caught up, but
Yeah, you look fine. That must have been my end or something. But whatever it was, it's fine.
All right.
Would you switch to there, Toys?
That is my rum with my skull ice in it.
Oh, okay. I couldn't figure that out. That's awesome, dude. I like it.
Well, let's see. I actually just had my quarterly ritual of buzz cutting my head and face. Yeah, I kind of usually do that too. Usually, every like 4 to 6 months, I'll usually like. Now, my hair grows more thick than long. You're never gonna see a mullet on me, okay? Because my hair doesn't grow like that. My hair grows. I mean, you guys can probably tell my hair tends to grow thick as opposed to long. So, yeah, but it's like, I mean, Batgo, you and I've talked about this before on one of my trial streams too, when we got talking about, Saturday morning cartoons and stuff like that. How many, and, heads up for you guys. And I know you guys are are fans of the this day in niche history segments. We'll probably be having a few noteworthy debuts to talk about as we get a little bit deeper into the month here, because as I said, this is usually around the time when traditionally, of course, nowadays I don't know how it is in I know here in Southern California, where they used to start in September, now they're starting in mid-August. So but every year,
I remember that, Mike. Okay, did I break him?
Well, you stopped for a moment. I just thought maybe I just simply thought maybe you were just stopping to think about what you wanted to say for a moment there.
I was just going to add, I was going to tack on to what we were saying about the Saturday morning cartoons. And yes, growing up in California, I grew up in Santa Monica, Mike, if I didn't mention that before. So that was my childhood in the 70s through the 80s was in California, Southern California there. And I know what you're talking about. And California does actually have a different TV lineup, I guess you would say, than the rest of the country. You understand what I'm saying? Like when a football game is being broadcast, and then at the end of it, they say, "Stay tuned for your nightly news," except for those of you on the West Coast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, because of the timing situation. But
they also shifted forward an hour for some reason. I always remember news being 11 o'clock, and then when I moved to the Midwest and everyone stopped and watched their news at 10 o'clock, that was when I first got to North Dakota. I'm like, okay. And then Minnesota was the same way. And so they adjust their time zone, but California just decides to do everything differently, if that makes sense.
Well, I don't know if that is just exclusively California in that particular case, because I don't know if you remember this when you were growing up here in California. But okay, did you have cable or watch cable at any point during your time growing up?
Yes, we had cable. We had, we were early on the cable thing. My stepdad was he was a director, so he was into technology early.
Okay, so then that oftentimes, when they talk about when shows are coming on, they would at times say like 11, like, if you might even remember this with TBS, they'd say like 7:05 Eastern, 6:05, 6:05 Central or something like that, if you remember that.
Yeah.
So you'd have a lot of that, now, what I think what would happen sometimes is, depending upon the situation, if it was like sports or wrestling or something that was supposed to be considered more live programming, it'd be on at like 7:05 Eastern, 4 Pacific. But if it was recorded, if it was something that was like taped or whatever, it would be shown usually at the same time. Now, now different markets had different things. I researched this when it comes to like television history as well. Some markets, like for example, some markets would have the game. You remember the game show block when you were a kid when it was on in the like mid to late mornings?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe out here in California, they might have had that game show block, in the morning, and then there are some parts of the country that would split that and they might have part of it in the morning, part of it in the afternoon. So depending upon which TV market, they would split it up.
Sure, I get what you're saying. Yeah, just remember too that I'm on my third vodka Perrier, so I think I just babbled a lot of dumb words out there.
Yeah. No, that's
sorry.
That's all right. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I did actually. Did I already? Oh yeah. We already saw that. Yeah. So I was just looking at the comments to see if I needed to catch up on any, but I don't think anybody's commented since. So yeah. Okay. So let's see. We're at 125 here. Yeah. So let's see. For me, of course. Let's see. So my plans for this weekend, anyways, are I'm gonna probably spend a good portion of it watching the last 2 weekends of September 1975 of pro wrestling. Looking up on YouTube, looking up some of the old pro wrestling shows from September 75. The latter 2 weeks, I did first 2 weeks last week. If I can find, what was that?
What are you gonna have for snacks?
Don't know yet.
Cheese balls?
Depends. Huh?
I like cheese balls.
Know yet. Don't know. In the morning I'll probably go up to the store and grab an energy drink, but then I'll have later on in the day for lunch or whatever. I don't really know yet. Let's see. Also, of course, try to catch. If I can find the time to do so, if I can squeeze some time in, try to catch. The Knucklehead stream. They're streaming. Try to catch some of Yellow Flashes as well.
Great stream. Love the Knuckleheads.
Yeah.
They're always fun.
Yeah, they're still the only guests that have come on so far. I mean, I may try to bring them back. The only reason I haven't reached out to them yet to bring them back yet is because I'm trying to still see if I can get some of the others, some of the other guests I want to get in here. So
sure, good idea. Good idea.
I've been talking to people. It's like, I think I have some loose. It's just that right now it just seems like a lot of people are like really busy with stuff. So, but I've got some promise.
Can I add one thing real quick, Mike? Mr. Hop, he's pretty amazing with his knowledge. And when he started laying out what his favorite '80s cartoons were. He's deep. He can geek out. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think you could tell, like, me and Mr. Hop could probably sit there for a good half a day or so talking about stuff. I mean,
oh yeah, but he's also into wrestling too. So that's where I dip out. But so yeah, I'm impressed. He's got a good knowledge base like you.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't that be something to listen to us like talk for a while? Even though when we did get into the wrestling side of it, we kind of were like, notice I had to at one point say, "Hey, Chris, do you have anything to say?" Because I didn't want her to feel like, she was being left out.
Yeah. She just laughed. That's fine. I sit and listen too. I don't know anything about wrestling.
Yeah, actually, one of the things that ATC and I had talked about, I think it was last week, or one of the things I was telling him about was this wrestler from his neck of the woods named Petey Williams, and and this incredible movie he calls it's literally like a flipping pile driver. He calls it the Canadian Destroyer.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna let ATC give his impressions on that move to you. Try to explain that. And I mean, I could, but I figure it might sound more fun coming from ATC.
The guy literally just grabs you, he hops up in the air and then slams you in the ground. And I'm like, how do you do this? I was like, you got to be like part kangaroo or something to goddamn jump with a person in your hands like that. I was like, ah. And then like they're showing different variations of it, and one guy was doing it from the top rope. I was like, how? Like, I was like, the amount of like leg strength alone is got to be amazing just to be able to do any of this. I was like, ugh.
Well, yeah, particularly since the '90s, and since you did see a lot of different styles being incorporated, worldwide. Because remember, like okay, here in America we call our style of pro wrestling catch as catch can. Okay, and if you guys ever saw, well, back, I don't know if you watched much wrestling growing up at all. But if if you ever had a chance to watch like some of the old like Memphis wrestling shows or some of the older NWA stuff, you know, a lot of it, yes, you did have some, some legit wrestling holds in there. You had some legit wrestling stars, like of course Kurt Angle, more modern times, but guys like the late Chris Taylor was another guy who came from a real wrestling background or amateur wrestling background in pro wrestling. Actor Ric Flair even had some, I guess, some amateur wrestling history in his. But yeah, I mean, but since the '90s, and when you had like particularly you had the luchadors coming up from Mexico, you had, you had more and more the Japanese style coming over, the different suplex and all that, a lot, you did see a lot more athleticism. I mean, even in the hardcore style of professional wrestling, right? Seeing some of the stuff that these guys would do in hardcore matches, right? Because like,
Peace, Dave.
Yeah. See you, Dave.
Dave heading out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna bounce. See you, Dave.
Don't go, Dave.
Gotta go,
I need
guys.
you.
Enjoyed the time. Well, thank you for joining us, Dave. Glad you were here. I'm always glad for you guys to join me. It's always good to get together and hang out and stuff like this. So yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, now I think I know somewhat what you're talking about. ATC. Some of the guys doing some of those type. I mean, I do know that some guys have done a similar move from like the second rope or top rope like that, like kind of a power bomb or a sunset flip from like the second or top rope. The guys have done that. You know what a sunset flip is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guy like bends down to like go for a backdrop, and the guy's running at him and basically just kind of rolls over and grabs him into a pinning position. So, oh yeah, but so yeah, and of course later, probably a little later on tonight, I'll be watching my nightly anime block, my nightly Adult Swim block, which right now is Shura no Toki, Time of Shura. That's a pretty good one. I think I told you about that, ATC. I don't know if I told you. That goat muted himself. So
He's probably making another drink.
Yeah. Shura no Toki, Black Lagoon, D Gray Man, and Blaze Blue Ultra Memory. So pretty interesting lineup. For me, I like trying to figure out different lineups. That's why I like, doing my own thing. So, yeah.
What did you ever think of Blue Gender? Yeah.
Blue Gender?
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, I probably would watch it again. Back goes back.
I was going to the bathroom, so I figured muting would be a good idea.
Okay. Yeah, we probably didn't need to hear you flushing the toilet, right?
You already heard me making a drink. I made sure to mute it this time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could have pulled an Al Bundy on us, or an Archie Bunker.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
I don't know if
gosh.
you guys watch those shows or not, but
Yeah, no, I
they
know.
wouldn't actually show you them going to the bathroom. You just would
No.
hear from off stage
Yeah.
the flush of the toilet or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, Al Bundy loved he loved sitting on his throne, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Probably the only empowerment he felt.
Well, he had a lot of power when he wasn't he the main guy behind No Ma'am? No Ma'am rules. Any red-blooded American dude knows about No Ma'am.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Al Bundy, our first defense against feminism.
It's so true.
Yeah. Love and marriage, go together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, love and actually,
You don't hear me think.
I think that is an old standard that they use for the theme song of that show.
Yeah. That was I don't know if it was Sinatra that originally did it. Like perhaps someone did it before him, but it was a big hit for Sinatra. I don't know when. 40s,
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
early 50s.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see what else I'll be. Well, probably on Sunday night I'll be watching a block. I'll be watching a nice little block that I just started watching on YouTube. Include probably 20 at 8 o'clock. I'll be watching 21. I just started watching 21 Jump Street this past weekend with all the stuff going on with Johnny Depp. It got me inspired, and then of course
The
my
original show.
original from back in the 80s.
Oh yeah. I I was big into Johnny Depp and 21 Jump Street when I was a kid. You know, he's what I'm 52 and Johnny Depp is what 56, 57.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
he's not that much older than me. I mean, when I was a young man and that show was on, it was huge.
Mhm. Yeah, and then my heaven to hell lineup, in which at 9 o'clock I'd be watching Highway to Heaven with Michael Landon and Victor French.
Yep,
Then Highlander, the series at 10, and 11
another good
Forever
series.
Night. Yeah, and the interesting thing about 21 Jump Street, Highlander, and Forever Night, they were all filmed up in Canada. In fact, I was reading something recently where that first 21 Jump Street series, that was actually one of the first series that was actually filmed up in Vancouver, which is now kind of where a lot of places go to film now.
Yeah, Vancouver for TV shows and movies. It's
I think
they,
Smallville
they
was filmed up there too.
a lot of tax breaks and it's a nondescript skyline that you can film from different angles. You can get a water and you can get a kind of high rise type of skyline if that makes sense. It's highly sought after for filming as far as I know.
Yeah. And then I know that from what I understand, I think Highlander and Forever Night were actually recorded or taped in think actually in ATC's neck of the woods, like in the Ontario area, I believe.
Ooh. A little tidbit of information for you, Mike.
All right.
Silent Hill, the first movie, was filmed in a city near me. So that'll tell you how close I am to it. A few years later, okay, they tore all the buildings down, okay, and I ended up doing the archaeology for the area. And another little tidbit of information: there was a First Nations village underneath the buildings.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's a little tidbit for you. Okay.
Uh-oh.
There was
I got something for you, Canada boy.
okay.
I'm
Let me get my thing out first. Where I live, we had a movie a few years. I think it was about I don't know 3, 4, 5 years ago. It was an Owen Wilson movie. I believe it was You Can't Take It With You, I think. Well, they filmed that basically near my neighborhood here. Like I was literally walking wide. I was like maybe 10 minutes away from some of the film locations of. I think it's You Can't Take It With You or something. It was an Owen Wilson movie. It was like
Okay. You live in LA though, right?
I live in Southern California. I basically live like the city. Okay.
You said you live in La Mirada,
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So
Which is like right on the border
more inland.
LA and OC. Yeah, I'm a little more inland. I'm I'm basically like right on the border between LA and OC. Okay. Whittier is to the north of me. Fullerton's like to the east. Norwalk's to the west. And I think like Buena Park's to the southeast. So I'm actually not driving. I'm actually not that far from. I'm just up Beach Boulevard from Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, but La Mirada, which not a lot of people know where that's at, but we had
Mike. Not a lot of people know where a lot of cities in LA are. LA is confusing. I'm from there, but I don't remember any of it. I mean, I grew up like trying to explain to people like I grew up in Santa Monica. It's an incorporated city inside of Los Angeles. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means like when I call 911, the Santa Monica Police Department shows up. But if I'm in Hollywood or West Hollywood or Beverly Hills and I call 911, LAPD shows up. And like, you know what I'm talking about? How cities inside of LA are incorporated to be their own city inside of a big city. It's a weird place.
Yeah, well, La Mirada is not technically part of LA City. We're part of LA County. I mean, we're probably like, as I told you, we're right on the border between LA County. Like we're technically in LA County, but you can just but we're like right on the border there. It's like I basically could. It would take me only about an hour to hour or so to walk from my house to Beach Boulevard, and I'm basically in Orange County.
Okay. And LA County is huge. So like, think of where you are, and then drive all the way up I-5, and then all the way through to the end of the Grapevine, right, where you get into the Mojave Desert, and that's where LA County ends. It's so massive. It's such a big place.
Well, yeah, I'm not actually too far from the 5 freeway. You just go straight. You just go south down Valley View from where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like basically, I'm near Valley View and Rosecrans.
Okay.
So I'm near that area. If you know that, I don't know how well you know La Mirada, but you also know there used to be a train depot right there on Stage Road.
Is that right? Okay.
Long time ago. So enough of doxing myself.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, toys.
Oh, that's fine.
You had something for toys there too.
What's that?
Didn't you say you had something? You said, as I recall, you said something along the lines, "Oh, I've got something for you, Canadian boy," or something like that.
I was joking. That was a joke.
Oh,
I was like trying to be a tough guy. I was just playing. He understood. We were just joking around.
Yeah. I'm the only one who didn't get it, I guess. All right. Well, actually, we're coming up. We're changed, so we're really getting to. Okay, so is everybody ready for this day in niche history?
You know it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, Grant, I know Dave Marks and Unity are probably not with us anymore, which is disappointing. But let's go ahead and let me just remind myself of some things here. You had the 2003 right there, 1980, 2000, and 2015. Okay, so just gotta of course, remind myself of some of the stuff you have to make sure I'm putting it, put it ready to present it in chronological order, obviously. So here we go. So today being Friday, September the 4th of 2020, let's look back on this day in niche history in which we will take a look back at what happened on this day on this September 4th on this day. So the first thing I want to look to is back on this date in 1980, 40 years ago today. In the world of professional wrestling, over in All Japan Pro Wrestling, Giant Baba would defeat Harley Race for his third NWA World Title reign. That would, of course, last about 5 days. On this date in Saga, Japan. Also on this date, Rick Martel would regain the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Championship from Buddy Rose. Now, Giant Baba was a legend in Japanese pro wrestling. He's like 6'10", 290. Harley Race, I'm sure you guys have heard of him. But if depending upon when you saw him, you either if you didn't see him during the prime of his career, during his times as world champion, you might have seen him when he came to the WWF as King Harley Race, or as a manager managing like Lex Luger and Vader, probably most notable for his time managing Vader in WCW. Rick Martel and Rick Martel was the model, and the late Buddy Rose was, you might remember him as enhancement talent for WWE in the late 80s, early 90s. But he actually, now granted, before he got all like super fat, he actually had some good runs. Like in now the Pacific Northwest territory was one of the smaller territories. It was actually one of the last of the classic NWA territories to shut down. They shut down in like December, and actually they shut down finally in 1992. Their last television program was in December of 91. But among some of the other guys who went through there included Raven spent some of his early career there as Scotty the Body. So, but yeah, so on this date in 1980, Giant Baba would win his third NWA World Heavyweight Championship from Harley Race in Saga, Japan, and then of course in somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, Rick Martel would regain the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight title. So there's some wrestling history for you guys. Let's go on to the next thing then, which happened in animation, in cartoons. So, of course, on this date in the year 2000, 20 years ago today, I believe this is on PBS Kids, Clifford the Big Red Dog would debut. The Clifford the Big Red Dog cartoon would debut, and I believe that was aired on PBS. So that happened on this date 20 years ago.
I love Clifford.
Yeah. Who said that?
Clifford
Was
the
that
Big Red.
ATC or was that Batgoat?
That's Bad Goat. I love Clifford the Big Red Dog. He's my guy.
You watch that
That's
with your kids or grandkids? Batgoat?
no. I don't watch a lot of cartoons with my kids. I watch cartoons by myself. But I mean, when my kids were little, we watched a lot of cartoons together. They love SpongeBob because of me. I directed them as to what they should watch.
Yeah, probably a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Clifford's my dude though. That's a good cartoon.
Yeah. Well, as I recall, it was also based on much like Heathcliff and Garfield. Clifford was based on, I believe, a comic strip character too, right? I recall.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So moving on then to the next bit of history. As soon as I can, okay, right here, and that comes 3 years after that, in 2003. On this date in oops, on this date in 2003, the 5th issues of Arkham Asylum Living Hell, the miniseries there, as well as Authority on the Wildstorm imprint of DC Comics. DC would release the 5th issues of Authority on the Wildstorm imprint, as well as Arkham Asylum Living Hell on this date in 2003, which was 17 years ago. Okay, so on this date, 17 years ago today, DC would release. Oh, I guess Anonymity came back and joined us because he to get the I guess to get the history part of it in. Arkham Asylum Living Hell and Authority on the Wildstorm imprint for DC Comics. So there you go for comics history. And finally, as we now move ahead here, on this date in 2015, which was 5 years ago today, B Project, a Japanese cross-media project by Mages.
What happened to the puppy there?
Over here?
I'm sorry. Yeah, poor doggo.
Top U.S. vet warns that one.
Keep going, Mike. Keep going, Mike. That was just me being silly. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, well, anyways, B Project, a Japanese cross-media project by Mages about a group of virtual idols that began in 2015. Let's see. On this date in 2015, they apparently had their first production presentation and song previews on this date in 2015. So the B Project cross media project by Mages had their first production presentation and song previews on this date, 2015. So there we go. That's all that happened on this date in. That's all that happened on this date in 2015. So I guess there are a couple of comments here. Let's look at those. Not laying any track anon. Laugh out loud. Okay. So how did you guys enjoy the stream tonight?
Great stream, as always.
It was fun. Time passes by too fast, as always.
Huh?
It was great fun. That? Time passes.
Yeah. Yeah, this time we got time to pass pretty quickly. We're very close to the 2-hour mark, 1:53.
Yeah.
So,
very cool.
As I initially said, I usually will try to aim for an hour and a half to 2 hours, but I decided to kind of stretch out the box and say an hour to 2 hours because sometimes I only have enough information just barely touch the hour mark. So, all right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to shut it down for the night. So it's good having you guys on. And I'm glad everybody joined me tonight.
Good to be here. Thank you, Mike.
Yes, and I hope you guys will join me on these nights when we can't get guests. Hopefully I'll be able to get more guests on more regularly.
Absolutely.
My intent, of course, is to have like a rotating panel of guests on, but gotta work with them, work with their schedules and all that, and also be sure I'm not
it'll happen.
inadvertently ticking them off too.
It'll happen. Don't worry. It'll happen.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you go and then wrap up here, and then I will see you guys. I'll see you guys on Monday. Well, unless we see each other in one of the other streams. So peace out, guys. Bye. All right. So, all right, guys. And let's see. Anonymity had a couple of comments here. Ha ha ha. And have a good one, guys. You too, Anonymity. Thank you for the stream, also. You're welcome. Guys, as always, I'm glad y'all joined me tonight. And I will see you on Monday. Bye.